开始现场。 Good evening. Good evening. Come in, sir. 400. I am Tony West. Nice to see you.
Nature is to make and to design. Bless this our feast with grace divine. May this Jubilee celebration, coupled with fresh royal approbation, conjoin us for thy merit, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Amen.
Master or warden of this worshipful company invite you to join them in the singing of grace. Would you please stand? Master, Warden, my Lord Mayor, Aldermen, Livymen, ladies and gentlemen, pray silence for the Senior Warden.
Master, fellow Warden, my Lord Mayor, Aldermen, Liverymen, Freemen, ladies and gentlemen, it is wonderful to see so many here to celebrate the furniture maker's 50th installation. Master, Jonathan, may I be the first to congratulate you on your installation. We look forward to an exciting year and pledge our support to you. It's wonderful to be here in the magnificent Guildhall, the home of the livery companies of the City of London. Our thanks must go to the Corporation of London for allowing us to be here. We are number 83, the very model of a modern livery company. In fact, we've been referred to as the Starship Enterprise of the livery community, boldly going where no other livery company dares to go. We've been led by an exceptional Captain Kirk for the last year, our newly immediate past master, Charles Vernon. He has made great efforts on our behalf, on the livery and in our enterprises. Charles, you've inspired us to dare. We really have become the British furnishings industry's central organisation, charity and patron. Thank you for all you have done during your year as our master. The livery is in good order. We've admitted 27 freemen and 4 liverymen this year, and one of our Starship enterprises, corporate membership, has had a particularly flourishing year, with its numbers rising to 14, with 35 corporate liverymen. Our industry, to which we are dedicated, is not small. Its value is about 15 billion to the UK economy, providing employment for over 250,000 people in the United Kingdom. We supply all aspects of life. Our products may on occasion be luxurious, but they are not a luxury. They are a necessity. Very little can happen without some form of furniture. Our task as a livery is to assist our industry to prosper and flourish within the UK and in its exports. These are tricky economic times. We must be encouraged that onshoring is happening, but it will take grit and determination to make a success of it. I should like to take this opportunity to thank all those who work at the Hall. It's been a very busy year, and we've needed a good crew. In particular, a year ago, I had the pleasure of investing our gallant clerk, Johnny Westbrook. It takes great skill to balance getting things done within our strategy while diplomatically herding a bunch of well-meaning pro bono enthusiasts with good ideas. Johnny, you've made a big difference and achieved much this year. On behalf of our livery, thank you. This has been our first year of combined charitable activities following our charities merger. It has been hectic. We've raised just under 200,000 and given a similar sum. We have supported BA and MA students, individuals who've fallen on hard times, and people who have retired from our industry but are having difficulty making ends meet. We've had the benefit of 2 further charities deciding we are the best place for them to settle. The Frederick Parker Collection and the Sidney Simmons Trust have both been absorbed into our charitable enterprise. We will take care to make the most of both these further votes of confidence in our ambitions. We've recognised that we've made a start, but we can do much better. So we've developed a big idea. There'll be a better title, I'm sure, but here we go, daring to go again. We will continue to support the elderly and other vulnerable groups. And a new initiative is to deliver valuable products directly from our members to those requiring support. This generous support enables us to significantly increase our giving. Our industry has told us that there are not enough motivated or qualified youngsters wishing to join our aging workforce. So we plan a program to help. With schools, we plan a program of prizes to reward furnishing design excellence. We're also developing an eye-catching method to attract students into our industry. With apprentices, we will encourage practical training of youngsters who would otherwise struggle to gain meaningful employment. This is not to provide cheap labour, but to support those with talent who may need that extra bit of help to get going and build a career or business in our industry. With students, we will increase the number of bursaries for designer students at both BA and MA levels. We will support a wider number of universities. As work begins, we will deliver an internship programme for young furniture makers so they can spend time with our corporate members gaining a focused commercial edge for the future. And as their work continues, we will offer a mentoring programme from experienced members of the industry. The furniture makers can provide a great pool of wisdom for these young entrepreneurs of the future. Much of this will take time, but if we don't set off with ambition, we will never get there. So in the year ahead, we plan to raise and give nearer 300,000, over half again on last year. The year ahead holds in store an unprecedented number of events, be they fundraising, civic, social, or educational. No doubt the growth in our new Masters Girth will be a testament to our success. We must thank both the office team and all those who give their time and effort, freely and generously, to support us on our way. And at this point, I must mention last weekend, when our new master and I, with 17 others, did tandem skydives from 13,000 feet. Making this speech is far less frightening. The first 2 seconds were probably the most terrifying of my life, as I was hurled into the void and plummeted at 120 miles an hour. But one of the greatest thrills followed, to be standing safely on terra firma again 6 minutes later. Thank you to all those who helped us raise just over £10,000. I'm sure that the Just Giving site is still open, so if anyone feels a late inspiration to donate, please do. Of course, the events can only help our cause if people come. So I do urge everyone to support. You don't have to jump out of an aeroplane. Sometimes all you need to do is just drink a glass of wine. The Corporation of London is rightly proud of the support and help it delivers to the community. My Lord Mayor, Roger, you and I have known each other for many years and benefited from the ways of Sweden. We know that Swedes have strong expectations. Theirs is not a soft culture. It strives for value creation and so sits high in the world economic order. It manages, nevertheless, to be a caring and peaceful society. This has taught us that good works are not just giving money. They are giving hope, ambition, and purpose. We're delighted with your initiative to develop the Gifford wood. Please don't be tempted by generous offers from the biomass industry for your virgin timber. The native oak, hornbeam, beech, birch, holly, yew, and many others are all far too valuable just to be burnt for power. It is wonderful that you have recognized the benefit of nature to the community. Long may it flourish. It was a privilege to follow you in your footsteps as chairman of the Swedish Chamber of Commerce for the United Kingdom. Your example stood me in good stead. The shoes you now fill so ably are quite another task, the 685th Lord Mayor of the City of London. For your daily efforts, for your many overseas trips, and your straightforward determination to be proud of the city and the value it creates, We thank you most sincerely. I now ask you all to rise and join me in the civic toast. The Lord Mayor and the City of London Corporation.
Lord Mayor, the City of London Corporation.
Pray silence for the Master.
Wardens, Lord Mayor, Aldermen, Liverymen, Freemen, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. It is really wonderful to see so many liverymen here tonight. And apart from welcoming all of you, I would particularly like to welcome a special welcome to all of our guests. I hope you're all enjoying your evening. My Lord Mayor, may I start off by making a contribution, please, to your charity with the livery's compliments. Start as we need to go on. Thank you very much. I would also like to welcome our other honoured guests. Alderman Sir David Lewis, past Sheriff and Lord Mayor, and our Broad Street Ward Alderman. Welcome. The Master of the Worshipful Company of Carpenters, Martin Samuel and his wife, Rosemary. The Master of the Worshipful Company of Painter Stainers, Alderman Gordon Warwick Haynes and his wife, Caroline. The Master of the Worshipful Company of Joiners and Sealers, James Vickers and his wife, Rosemary. Welcome to you. Also, the Master of the Worshipful Company of Upholders, Nick Meyer and his wife, Diana. And the Master of the Worshipful Company of Turners, Ridian Jones and his wife, Monica. And this means we have a full complement of the Wood Group of companies at our celebration this evening, which is very apt. I'd also like to welcome Lieutenant Colonel Tim Harper, Commanding Officer of 7 Rifles, our affiliated regiment, who has provided the Guard of Honour and whose band have put on such a spectacular display to mark our anniversary this evening. We also welcome Stephen McPartland MP, the chairman of the All-Party Parliamentary Furniture Industry Group, and his wife Emma, and the rector of St Mary Le Bow, George Bush, our livery chaplain, who conducted the earlier Thanksgiving service, and thank you very much, George, for that. This is a very special occasion. We are marking 50 years as a fully fledged livery, 63 years on from forming as a guild. And we have a history of over 150 years of combined charitable giving. And as you have heard from the CDM Warden, we are moving on from strength to strength in our giving. And to commemorate our golden anniversary, I have commissioned a discreet lapel pin featuring the crest from our coat of arms. Each liveryman and freeman will receive one of these in the post in the next few days. The more observant of you will also have spotted the swags, for better use of a word, on the masters' and wardens' gowns earlier. These have been added to mark the creation of the industry's principal charity from the merger. We pride ourselves on being a modern, relevant, and evolving organization, but we must remain true to the founding principles of guilds and livery companies, and we do. Since their formation before 1066, they have existed to support the development of industry and the individuals who work in it. Tonight is all about acknowledging and celebrating dedication and hard work and unflagging enthusiasm, whether from our established benefactors or our new group of corporate partners who donate very generously every year, or from members who serve on our court, or from the chairman or liveryman serving on one of our committees, or from those of you who simply give your time to organize our charitable events, or for those of you who sit on our Guildmark award schemes or training schemes, or from liverymen and freemen who simply encourage new members to join us and mentor those amongst us. You all deserve our thanks and a round of applause. Fittingly, our guests this evening include individuals whose families were involved in the formation of the Guild and the transition to a livery. In particular, our senior past master, Sir John Perring, a past alderman and sheriff, along with Lady Perring and family members, are hosting several tables with special guests here tonight. These include Sir John and Lady Welsh. Sir John Welsh was the first clerk to this livery in 1963. And their fathers, Colonel Sir John E. Perring and Sir Cullum Welsh, together with Sir Ralph Perring, all served on the Court of Aldermen and went on to be sheriffs or Lord Mayors. These three luminaries, together with Sir Herman Liebus and his legal counsel, Douglas Clark, were the driving force behind the formation of this livery. At that time, the industry had the ear of government, who valued manufacturing as a significant part of GDP. And 50 years on, we note the really pressing need for the industry to secure a better hearing from government and an urgent need to build our manufacturing industry back up. The British Furniture Confederation, or BFC, was set up by the livery to coordinate representation to government from all the industry trade associations. Representation is channeled through the all-party Parliamentary Furniture Industry Group, which is comprised of MPs and peers and chaired by Stephen McPartland. The focus this year for the BFC, Chairman Paul von der Heide, is investment support for manufacturing. And we are already seeing greater financial support from the DTI for export-orientated initiatives as a result. We all want to see more UK-based production. The current global economic dynamics are driving investment in manufacturing in the UK. UK labour rates are now among the lowest in Europe, and tooling is more versatile and portable than ever. The backdrop of rising freight costs, rising labour rates in emerging markets, and the weakening pound is also helping us to be more competitive on exports. The World Bank's ease of doing business rankings rate the UK 7th out of 183 countries. China, by the way, is 91. Regrettably, the Blair-Brown years saw manufacturing fall from 21% to 11% of GDP. The shift is taking manufacturing abroad, has seriously depleted the skills base in the UK, which will take time and determination to rebuild. This is something we can do together. If we can revive skills and produce innovative products, we can be the dominant force again in global markets. We will not appeal globally or locally without innovating. To do this, we must invest in design and skills training. The current onshoring trend is presenting UK manufacturers with opportunities to provide local manufacturing services under license to global companies. For example, my own company, KI, a global leader in contract furnishing, is doing just this. Over the last 3 years, our UK business has moved from being predominantly a sales organization, importing 80% of its products from North American factories, to a 90% UK manufacturer of its product designs. As a designer, it's hardly surprising that the principal focus of my year will be on design, particularly investment in design by British manufacturers. The UK is the home of some of the rising global stars of design, and they are being engaged by enlightened international manufacturers. Those UK furnishing companies who are currently growing and exporting are all distinguished by their investment in design. So during my year, we will be seeking to create forums where design studios can meet prospective furniture manufacturers who want to engage them. I will also be looking to encourage more graduates to join our industry. We must do more to highlight our industry as a wise career choice, with varied opportunities for the entrepreneurial and inventive. I am really proud of the way our guild marks continue to go from strength to strength. In particular, the Design Guild mark is now widely recognized as the leading accolade for designers and volume manufacturers of furniture. My special thanks go to Chairman Graham Jones and the committee, in particular Cheryl Shear and her team at CSA, for their extensive pro bono work in promoting the mark across the industry. I have the first of several exciting announcements to make. The culmination of a 3-year project to see the publication of Leslie Jackson's book, Modern British Furniture Design Since 1945. Leslie completed her work in December last year, and the V&A is now editing the manuscript and sourcing illustrations in time for publication in October this year. My thanks go to all those donors and sponsors who made it possible for this ambitious project to come to fruition. We and the V&A have high hopes for its adoption around the world, and the preeminent reference book on this important period for British furniture design and manufacture. Talking of excellence, I have great pleasure now in announcing this year's recipient of the Claxton Stevens Prize. He received the prize earlier this evening from the Lord Mayor, and he is an exciting new talent. His stellar console piece was in the library where you took drinks earlier and may still be there when you retire for a stirrup cup. My congratulations go to Jake Phipps. We now come to one of the highlights of the evening. I would like to ask the Lord Mayor to make the presentation of a Lifetime Achievement Award. Now, these don't come lightly. The award is going to a through and through furniture man. By coincidence, this man is the man that introduced me back to the livery back in 1997, perhaps not his finest hour. Our awardee trained as an architect from 1945 and worked with Professor Dick Russell on the Lion and the Unicorn Pavilion at the Festival of Britain, and remained his partner until 1967, when he joined the famous Gordon Russell Company in Broadway. He was successively Director of Design, Managing Director, and Chairman until 1980. Thereafter, he worked as an independent furniture designer and consultant. He has been President of the Design and Industries Association, Chairman of the Contract Design Association, the British Furniture Council, and the Furniture Industry Research Association. And not surprisingly, this contribution to our industry was recognized with an MBE in 2001. He has always used his talents and experience to help others. For example, the Edward Barnsley Trust, the Gloucestershire Guild of Craftsmen, and the Gordon Russell Museum, of which he was a founder trustee. He also founded the Furniture Industry Strategy Group, which later became the BFC. He was master of the Furniture Makers Company in 1994. And I'm sure that many of you will already now know who I'm talking about. And tonight, we salute Ray Lee. Thank you, my Lord Mayor. And congratulations, Ray, a very deserved recognition. May I also thank Charles Vernon again for his exemplary year as master. Congratulations also to my two wardens, Paul von der Heide and David During, who I look forward to working with over the next year. I would also like to thank my company, KI, for its support. My chairman, Richard Resch, and his wife have made a special trip here from America for this event, and they are joined by several of my work colleagues, special guests, and my family, all of whom helped make it possible for me to combine my career commitments with the duties required of the master furniture maker. This is indeed a great honor, and I hope to emulate the many successful masters who've gone before me. I have one final announcement. Many of you are aware we have been seeking a royal charter. I received an encouraging letter from Her Majesty the Queen's Privy Council this week, and I remain confident that on Wednesday, the Privy Council will recommend to Her Majesty that we should be granted a royal charter. May I thank Past Master Roger Richardson and his advisor Keith Laurie for all the hard work they have done to get us so close to this goal. And at the risk of being a little presumptuous, we have penciled in a special Royal Charter dinner for October the 31st. This will be held at Carpenter's Hall, where I hope to receive the full vellum and sealed Royal Charter formally from a member of the royal family. Back to tonight. This Guildhall has been the City of London's powerhouse since the 12th century, a physical manifestation of the city's influence and prestige, which even the monarch had to acknowledge. This is where the Lord Mayor and the ruling merchants held court, fine-tuned the laws, and set the trading regulations that helped create London's wealth. 800 years on, this hall is used to host significant events, such as visiting heads of state and royal occasions. It is therefore a very fitting venue for the livery to mark its 50th anniversary. The eagle-eyed amongst you will have spotted that the furniture makers already have a presence here. Our coat of arms on a shield is amongst those mounted in this great hall. I will leave you all to try and spot it. Before handing over to the Right Honourable the Lord Mayor, may I propose a toast to the guests. Would liverymen, corporate liverymen and freemen please rise and toast our guests. The guests. Are you a guest? Lord Mayor? Thank you. Well done. Thank you.
I can unstick the papers.
Pray silence for the Right Honourable, the Lord Mayor.
Yep. Master, wardens, my lords, fellow aldermen, ladies and gentlemen, I am delighted to respond to the civic toast, and on behalf of the guests, especially the American and Swedish guests here tonight, to welcome the furniture makers to Guildhall to celebrate your 50th birthday. How fantastic and how appropriate to have the full regimental Waterloo band of the Rifles playing so magnificently all evening. I have never been to a livery dinner where a whole regimental band plays. Absolutely fantastic. And what better present than your first Royal Charter? So tonight we rejoice in a pending Royal Charter, as we heard, to be celebrated formally at a dinner this October. Master, having known you from our children's school days and picnics in the park, the gentle whack of leather on willow. I am confident that yours and Jessica's powers of charm and persuasion will secure the charter very soon. May I also say that this evening, Mark Groves and the cook and butler have excelled themselves in one of the most delicious meals I've had in ages. Fancy. And to thank you for this wonderful evening, please accept a copy of a new book by my wife Claire on the Harold Samuel collection, the finest private collection of Dutch and Flemish 17th century art in Britain, which hangs in the Mansion House. It will be conserved and promoted through a new fund created by part of the proceeds of the Lord Mayor's appeal. Here it is. Come and see the pictures. And for your clerk, I have some playing cards of the very same collection depicting that the Harold Samuel art collection. I realize this will add to his unfortunate gambling habit that I've heard about from the master, but if you would like to collect these cards, you're most welcome. And may I say that I cherish the gift that I received from the furniture makers when I visited your hall in March. Some very snazzy company cufflinks. Unfortunately, Mansion House protocol dictates that I am in frilly lace cuffs tonight, which prevent me from wearing them this evening. But I can assure you they were on display in Scotland last week when I wore them with pride during a reception with the 9 Trades of Dundee. Regionalism is alive and well in Scotland. At lunch in Glasgow, the deacon convener of the Trades of Glasgow, this is a true story, the deacon convener of the Trades Houses of Glasgow, after a good joke or two, slapped his sides and said, "Oh, where would we be without a sense of humour?" To which the immediate reply was, "Edinburgh." Back to cufflinks. I still have the email in which Johnny, the clerk, assured the team at Mansion House that these cufflinks are very stylish and all the rage in the city this year. Johnny, I am proud to be a model for your company. David Beckham, eat your heart out. After all, as Mark Twain once said, clothes make the man. Naked people have little or no influence on society. Master, the furniture makers are having a very good influence on society and not just your stylish cufflinks. Your 50-year-old company, merged with the 100-year-old Furnishing Industry Trust, has a wealth of experience and expertise at its formidable furnishing fingertips. You're at the heart of the British furnishing industry and a model of livery practice in supporting your craft and trade. Through apprenticeships, through mentoring, through accreditation with design guild marks, you are protecting and promoting the highest standards in your industry. Furniture makers, congratulations. One of your newest projects to create the Queen's Diamond Jubilee cabinets has been another fantastic success. What a beautiful and enduring testament to the contribution of your company and the whole livery to the UK. And what better tribute to a person who has made a tremendous contribution to the UK during a 60-year reign. As you may know, the City Corporation commissioned its own objet d'art to commemorate the Queen's Diamond Jubilee, a magnificent new pipe organ. The corporation were quick to agree that this would be a wonderful, lasting addition to the city's role in last year's Diamond Jubilee celebrations. Westminster Abbey has been identified as the appropriate recipient, as it is not in the city and represents a more meaningful gift to a location outside our borders. But before the new coronation organ takes up permanent residence there at the end of the year, it is being used for recitals at Mansion House in aid of the Lord Mayor's appeal. Therefore, I encourage you all to snap up tickets to a special evening in September to celebrate Handel's life and music. And if you can't wait that long to hear the coronation organ or marvel at its stunning classical design, courtesy of Manders of East London, the next recital is on the 23rd of July. Master, this year the primary beneficiary of the Lord Mayor's appeal is a new charity, the City Music Foundation. It aims to provide performance opportunities at a crucial stage in a would-be artist's career, encouraging their ambition and the pursuit of artistic excellence. Another, as we have heard, is the modestly named Gifford wood. And Senior Warden, I can assure you that biomass is not on the agenda. But coming back to the City Music Foundation, the furniture makers know the value and the importance of this kind of support. An investment to ensure that the UK remains synonymous with the very best art, craft and design. Here in the city, institutions like the Barbican, the LSO and the Guildhall School of Music and Drama have created a uniquely rich and diverse metropolis, which other countries desire to emulate. They admire it. They know that a burgeoning creative industry sector is a conduit to growth and prosperity. So tonight, we celebrate British art and craftsmanship. And Master, as you mark your 50th anniversary, let's also celebrate the talented young people you are supporting today, who will be the architects of the nation's success in the future. We honor the heritage and the continuity of the livery while appreciating the need for development and change. After all, innovation and adaptation to meet a need is the reason the livery has endured and innovated for decades and decades and decades. That's the impulse behind the Livery Legacy Initiative. Because our challenge today is to add to the great inheritance of the livery companies, not just to husband the resources left to us, but to add to that endowed capital so that we continue to build prosperous, healthy, contented communities in the future. And I know, and we have heard, how much the furniture makers already do. But with wholehearted approval by the livery itself, this year's Livery Legacy Initiative is about creating the expectation that all new liverymen of a worshipful company of the City of London sign up to a legacy form in favour of their livery's charitable interests from their eventual estate, however modest that initial legacy amount may be. It's suggested to be for new liverymen, as existing liverymen may have made arrangements of their own or have joined on a different understanding. And it is not intended to interfere with any annual giving plans already in place. But fellow liverymen, ours is a livery tradition of philanthropy which is centuries old. We are merely reinforcing it in modern terms. And with current inheritance tax breaks for charitable donations as they are, it should be a no-brainer. Master, when speaking, I always try to follow the advice of another great American, Spencer Tracy, who said, "Learn your lines and don't trip over the furniture." There has been no danger of that tonight. We have stood back and appreciated the finest attributes of the furniture makers. Long may you steal the show from American movie stars. Long may your craft thrive and prosper. So, in conclusion, it gives me great pleasure to invite you all to rise for a toast to the company. And the toast is the worshipful company of furniture makers. May it flourish, root and branch, and forever, and good health to the master. The worshipful company, good health to the master.
Pray silence for the master.
Don't worry, it's not another speech. Thank you very much, my Lord Mayor, for your kind words and snappy speech. It only remains for me to thank you all for attending and to wish you all a safe journey home. Thank you.
The master invites you to join him in a syrup cup been offered in the old library. Liverymen, ladies and gentlemen, would you please make way for the Master? Wardens, Right Honourable the Lord Mayor, their ladies, as they retire.